Glad you're here today, guys. Some of you guys have asked, what's it like to live on disability? Well, so I thought I'd share a little bit about that this morning. So maybe you ask, well, what's your budget look like? That's kind of personal, but I thought about it and I decided, okay, I'll share it with you. I draw $1,100 a month in disability benefits. So not a lot of money, I know, but I know it's a topic that interests a lot of my audience because a lot of us are in the same boat. So I thought I'd share the numbers with you. For example, my electric bill runs around $125 to $175 a month, depending on how much AC I run. Now, I do have the ability to make my own power here. I have a big gasoline generator, not huge, but I mean about 5,000 watts. It will run this entire camper quite easily. But gas is expensive. I also have 4 power banks that I can use that run on either solar, or I can charge them up with my gasoline generator in about an hour and a half. 2 hours tops, which ain't quite so bad. The deal breaker to be able to be totally off right here as far as power for me is the rooftop air. That just wipes me out as far as being able to just use my power banks. They will run them, but I can't get through a 24-hour window. So pretty much that's why I keep it tied to the grid right now, because I need to find a better way to improve that. But as far as when any bad weather comes or cold weather snaps and we lose power, I'm quite capable to keep the lights on here for an extended period of time. Like I said, the deal breaker for me is running the rooftop air. Running the rooftop air uses on average about 0 to 200 watts power per hour. And I have a couple of big power units, but even still, I can't make that 24-hour window with it. It's just too much of a draw. So that's the only reason I'm still connected to the grid. I'm hoping this year to swap out the AC rooftop air and put in a 12-volt rooftop AC system. It's going to cost about $900 to do that. So I'm putting away a little money, hopefully to solve that problem. And then because that would reduce my electric draw from 0 watts per hour to about 400 to 500 watts. At that point, now I can make the switch over because the units I'm using would go ahead and carry the load because I got to run the AC because here in Kentucky, the humidity is just brutal. I've already had to run AC and it's only the 10th, 12th of March. So here we go. I'm already having to turn the AC on. And the reason why is I live in a metal box. I have no shade over the top of the camper. And I know I've already had the suggestions that I should probably put in a metal roof over the camper. Well, I was going to do that. But now that I have bought my own land somewhere else, I'm kind of like trying to hold off on that until I get where I'm going to be going. And I'm hoping to do that by this fall. So it's a process. So I don't really want to start investing, building something up over the top of this camper if I'm only going to be here for another 9 months or 6 months, whatever it ends up being. Because that's a process too, because, it costs money to move nowadays, and we all know that. Next on my list is my car insurance. And so my car insurance, I only use PLPD, property damage and liability, because all my vehicles are paid for. So my car insurance runs me around $125 a month, maybe a touch more. So that's not too bad. I have the old truck, and I have a little Fiat, and I have a Jeep. So not too bad. All of them are paid for. And so my insurance is pretty cheap because I don't have to run full coverage. I used to run full coverage on all my cars, but after having a tree fall on my big old Suburban I used to have, and it was a 97 Suburban, and I had full coverage on it, roadside towing, all that stuff. and the insurance company says, well, you know, we're going to total it out because a tree fell on it, and it did very little damage to the vehicle, really. Damaged the rooftop rack that was on it, and put a couple dents in the side, but nothing major. And they wanted to come along and offer me $800 and total it up. I'm like, no, I'm not accepting that. And so I turned them down, and because I wasn't going to have them total out the vehicle because it didn't warrant that. But enough about that. And of course, got to have internet if you're going to do YouTube. So I do have fiber optic internet here at the property, and that runs me about $110 a month. And so that's one expense you just got to have if you're going to do YouTube. So moving down the list, I use a portage on here for my, you know, bathroom activities. It's not glamorous, but it does work. There is a septic system here on the property. I just have not finished connecting it to the camper. And that's something I'm going to try to get to here, hopefully this month while I'm still here. The weather's now pretty good. I can get out there and get that done. I've already bought all the necessary stuff to make the connection. I just got to hook it up, and then I can actually start, you know, I could save some money by eliminating that. What else we got here? All right, getting into the fun stuff. Well, a lot of you guys have asked me, well, how much does it cost to feed your animals? Because yes, I have a lot of animals. I have cats. I have 2 cats. I have 3 Chihuahua, a great white Pyrenees, a big yellow lab, and a small black lab. So my pet food bill runs me around about $150 a month, maybe a little more. And of course, I do supplement that with sharing what I eat with them too, as long as it's you know, safe to give it to them. I'm pretty much a meat and potatoes guy. I keep it simple, and some fruit, some good green leafy vegetables. I like spinach, carrots, spinach, peas, things like that. I like cabbage. So that's about, on average, about $150 a month on pet food. And I don't like to buy the pet food. Is a very hard thing to get around because most of the pet food that's out there today is just garbage. So you got to really be picky about what you feed your dogs these days. All right, what else we got? Groceries. Well, everybody's got to eat, right? Like I said, I keep it simple around here. I like eggs. I like toast. I like a little bacon here and there. Meat and potatoes. I like to make a crock pot meal about, you know, a couple times a week because I can get 2 meals out of it or more. So my usual grocery bill runs around $50 a week if I'm careful and keep it simple. Again, I don't eat flashy, I eat simple. Because when you're on a budget, what choice do you have? You got to keep it on the tight side. All right, here's another big expense for me. Gasoline. Yeah, gasoline's tough, especially when it's $39 a gallon here as of today. Wasn't too bad when it was $240, $232, which was a month ago. But we know why it's up. Hopefully that'll get back down to normal here in the next month. I'm hoping so. Gas is running me around $160 a month, about $40 a week. And because you still have to get around town. You got to go do this. You got to go do that. Moving on from that, what else we got? And of course, got to have life insurance, right? My life insurance runs me around $51 a month. Not too bad. So pretty good there. And then I'd like to put away $50 a month into my savings account. I know it's not much, but it's something. And even $50 a month can make a difference between getting by another month or not. I do that mostly for my animals because if the vet bill crops up, I like knowing I've got a few $100s put away to take care of a situation that comes up with the animals, because they are my family and so they get top priority. All right, now a lot of people says, well, how much rent do you pay? I don't. I'm a caretaker here at this property, so I don't pay any rent. So that's the only reason I can make this work. I'll be honest with you, that's the secret. Only because I don't have to pay any rent here, that's why I'm able to survive on a benefit check. So when I add that all up, it comes to about $1,095. So I just squeaked by. Not glamorous, guys. It's a hard life. I'll admit it's tough. You want to go to town, you want to go do something. Everything costs money now. It seems like every time you leave the house, it costs you a $100 bill. So I don't go to town very often. Try to limit my trips to town. Keeps my costs lower. After all, got to make it to the end of the month. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. YouTube has helped a lot. I'll admit that has taken a little bit of the load off, but I haven't changed how I live. I still live the same way as I lived over 3 years ago when I moved here. Nothing's changed. I do the same thing every day. I stick to the same routine every day. I still live in my same camper every day, and I'm driving the same vehicles I have. I'm not doing anything different. The only thing I've done different this year was to buy a piece of land, so that way I could finally settle that little nagging thought in the back of my head that I wanted my own piece of land. Because even this can be tenuous at best. But this can change at a moment's notice. You never know. When you're living on someone else's land, nothing's guaranteed. So my goal now is to get moved to the new property. Hopefully by fall, if all goes well, I'm looking to buy a better unit. A little bit bigger than this one. This one's only 23 feet long. It's a 2006 Forest River rock root, but it's only 23 feet long, and I'll be honest with you, it's just a little too tight, especially with all my fur babies. So I'm looking to get up to around a 28 foot would be probably about the right size. So I'm hoping to be able to purchase a newer unit before I make the move over to the new property. I still got to go clear a drive and clear a spot for the new camper at the new place. I haven't even started that yet. I just bought the property in January. So we'll see how that goes, because I'll be taking you along that journey once I start it. And the property is about 5 hours away from here, still in Kentucky. But so that adds its own layer of complexity to the whole issue. It's not like I can just jump in the car, drive 30 minutes, and spend a day working on the land. It's just not how that's going to work. So I've got to be able to make sure my animals are cared for the day, get up there for a day. I'm going to get a pet sitter to come out here and make sure all the fur babies are cared for. I'm going to try to spend a good day up there. I'll shoot some film while I'm up there. I need to mark out the trees that I'm going to have to pull down and to cut in for the driveway and clear a spot for the camper. It's a nice piece of property, I'll admit. The property cost me $31,200. So, and I'm trying to do all of this as frugally as possible. And so it's not going to be a fast process because I just don't have that kind of money. So it's a little here and a little there. But YouTube is starting to help take that pressure off a little bit. And so I'm hoping to start shopping around here fairly soon for a better camper to be able to take up to the newer property. And we'll see how that goes. What else do I got here today? I had something on my mind and it slipped. Part of getting older, I guess. But yeah, you know, a lot of you had asked, well, how does it work when you're drawing disability benefits, yet you're working at YouTube? Well, they have a program. It's called the Back to Work program, and it's a 9-month program where you can make all the money you want. No, I don't get rich here. Believe me, I don't. But you can make all the money you want and still draw your benefit check for 9 months. So that's what I'm doing. I'm enrolled in that program because I want everything above board. And but that program now, my check will probably run out in April. I think April will be, next month will probably be my last month where I get a benefit check. Because while you're on disability, you can earn up to $1,642 a month. After that, they take your check away. But the good thing is that you're not kicked off disability entirely. You'll be able to restart your benefit checks for let's just say I decided, well, tomorrow I'm going to quit doing YouTube. I would be able to go ahead and restart my benefits because my disability has not changed. So even though I sit in front of a camera and talk for 15 minutes a day, is that really a job? It depends on how you look at it, I guess. So, and of course you have to pay taxes on that income as well. So there's that factor too you have to consider. So April will probably be the last month where I get my full benefit check. After that, I don't know. It all depends on how much money, you know, this channel brings in every month. So just as to whether that'll affect my benefit. But but again, like I said, I'm still the same guy I was 9 months ago when I started this channel. I haven't changed how I live. I still do the same things every day. I still adhere to my budget every month. I keep things simple, frugal, and I play things pretty tight to the chest. But the secret for me to make it work again was the fact that I don't pay any rent. If I had to pay rent, I don't know what I would do. I would be just decimated. I don't know how people out here in my community are getting by paying rent and trying to pay everything else. Utilities, groceries, car insurance, life insurance, whatever. How are you guys making it? I don't know. You have my utmost respect because as tight as I can live, believe me, I can pinch a penny pretty damn tight. I don't know how you do it. Drop it in the comments. I would like to know. I would like to learn from you. It's not just about me sharing what I know. It's about learning what you know too. It's a two-way street here, guys. But you know, you all had asked, well, how does it work? Well, this is how I made it work. It's not glamorous. No, but I guess it comes down to lowering your expectations to fit reality. And that's what it's come down to me. When I sold my home, that was the end result. It was knowing that, well, this is it. And so I just wanted to come out here and let you guys know, because a lot of you ask, well, how do you survive on Social Security disability? Well, it's not easy. It's a daily struggle. But I think a lot of it, the other part of the success to doing that is changing how you think about it. Because you just have to learn, and sometimes you have to learn it the hard way. You can't control everything. All you can do is the best job you can, and tighten your belt, get rid of any extra leaks in your budget. Some people have asked, well, why don't I get rid of some of my animals? You could save some more money. Excuse me, allergies. Well, yeah, I probably could save some more money, but they're my family. and as my family passed away, what was to be done with the animals? So since they're my family, I kept them. I kept the animals. And I don't regret that decision. They give me comfort. They give me a little joy. And I couldn't see doing it any other way. After all, they're family. I mean, otherwise, I'm just an old man living in a box talking to four walls. And my animals allow me a communicative outlet because I can always talk to my fur babies. I can always take them for a walk. You've got companionship. Otherwise, what's the point when you're over 60? Let's face it, dating isn't going to happen for you. My wife died in 2012 due to a car wreck. So where does that leave you for starting a new relationship? Let's face it, it's just not in the cards anymore. And I've accepted that. And that's okay. So I've learned to live this way for quite a while now, and it don't bother me. For a little while there this last year, I did have a lady friend I would go out to dinner with, and she had a young son. But again, it was strictly friendship. You know, she worked at the grocery store where I go shop, and what started out as a nice friendship, you know, I would take her and her son out to the Chinese restaurant to give them a sense of normalcy. It was, you know, just to brighten their day a little bit. And I helped buy them some school clothes and some things like that. But, you know, life goes on. You know, she's moved on, of course. And because, again, I wasn't pursuing anything. It's just friendship. Someone to go have a meal with. And so that's what it was about. Because some of you people had asked, and because I had mentioned it in earlier videos, so I just thought I'd set the record straight there. You know, strictly friendship. She's got a new job now, and that's good. She's working at a factory now, so she's in much better position, and she's really doing good on getting her life back on track. So I'm very proud of her and very happy for her. So anyways, guys, you know, this is what happens how you live on a tight budget. It's not easy, of course, but some of you had asked, and I thought, well, I'll go ahead. All right, I'll share it with you. I've got nothing to hide here. And so there it is, about $1,100 a month, and you're not doing nothing fancy, and you ain't doing nothing extra. You're always one crisis away from a major problem. But thanks to the wonderful support of this channel, things have been looking much better, and it's allowing me to hopefully this year make the change to the new property. I can't thank you guys enough for all the warm comments, generous support, and I look forward to seeing you guys each and every day. I want to thank you guys for 90,000 plus subscribers. I would have never thought in my lifetime I'd ever see something like this. And the beauty of the community that has been built here by us is the biggest reward I get out of YouTube. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. And until next time, guys, let's rise together.